Hey guys, welcome back to All a Day of with me, Mike. This is part two of chicken parmesan. My daughter is over there at the kitchen table. She's putting on some press-on nails, I guess, or whatever. I don't know. I hear her filing like a rat eating through a drywall. You know, I'm sure you could probably hear that. Yeah, anyway, there we go. So anywho, all right, guys. I got the sauce made. The sauce is perfect. It tastes great. I love it. I just turned the cauliflower on low to get ready to start seasoning and steaming that. I've got the corn on. But what I'm getting ready to do now is I'm actually getting ready to bread my chicken. And it's kind of a three-step process. So you've got everything from flour, egg, and panko breadcrumbs. Now, I like panko breadcrumbs because they're a little bit bigger and a little bit more chunky. I don't know. I kind of like them. I'm sure you can get different brands, different flavors, you know, if you don't like it as big as this. But I like the flavor. I want to say it's a Japanese brand. Hold on. Let me show you a container here. Yeah, this is the one that I use right here. The panko. Yeah. It's actually pretty good. Panko plain. I know that they do have a spicy one if you want spicy. But of course I'm not doing that. But anyway, so I've already got my chicken. I've already taken the fat off of it. You can see here, these are all good, good breasts. I've already got them seasoned, salt and peppered. So I salt and peppered them and then let them sit and rest, get them a little bit to room temp. All right, so I'm going to take a good seasoned breast here, and I'm going to put it in my flour. All right, we're going to flour it up, get that bad boy good and covered. Gosh, I cannot wait to eat some chicken parmesan, guys. The only other person that I know that appreciates this food more than me is my dad. I'm just telling you. That dude right there can eat some daggone food. He can eat some food. It's crazy. So, you can see I shook off the excess from it. I'm going to dip it in my egg wash here. Get that bad boy. And let that drain and strain. And then into my breadcrumbs, okay? Now, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about temperatures. Temperatures for different types of meats. There's a rule of thumb for everything, what you should cook stuff to. And I can tell you my fiance has always said, oh, my Lord, man, I didn't cook my chicken that short a time because, you know, I'd pull it out and it would be as hard as a rock. Well, you know, temperature is key on everything. It really is. So here's a good rule of thumb for all of your cooking needs when it comes to temperature requirements for food. If you're cooking poultry, minus duck, 165. 165 internal temperature is what you want your poultry to be cooked to. So if you're cooking a chicken breast, you're cooking a turkey, whatever you're cooking, poultry-wise, 165. Now, why did I say not duck? Well, duck is actually kind of considered the same thing as red meat, believe it or not. And you can actually cook red meat, or you can cook duck the same way as red meat. So we're going to get to that in just a little bit, but I just want to tell you that duck is not the same as other poultry. Now, when you're cooking a steak, red meat, 125, 125 is going to be rare. All right, all the way up to about 165. 165 is where you're going to have your well done. So 125 to 165. So about every 10 degrees it goes up. You know, so that's kind of a good rule of thumb. 125 being rare, all the way to 165 being well done. So every 10 degrees gives you a different texture. All right, pork. Pork is another good one. Pork, believe it or not, 145. 145 on pork. Now, I can tell you that there are some restaurants out there that they will not do 145 because it will still bleed a little bit. But I'm telling you, the texture, everything with that is absolutely perfect. It's money. Just let it drain, let it sit, let it bleed a little bit. Once you get done cooking it, let it rest. You're going to have the best tender pork chops or tenderloins you've ever had. But 145 for pork. Now with duck, like I said, duck, you can do duck breast the same way as steak. 125, and let those bad boys sit and rest and chill. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a blast with those bad boys. I love duck. I think it's really, really good. Now, a lot of people don't like the gaminess of duck. Me personally, I think it tastes really good, especially with like orange, mandarins, or lavender. Oh, man. Oh, duck is so good. Anyway, so, and then there's another good rule of thumb as well. Anytime you stuff something, let's say, for instance, you make a stuffed pork chop or you make stuffed chicken. It doesn't matter what you stuff. Anytime that you stuff something, 165 internal is what you want. So if you're stuffing a pork chop, even though that I just said 145, if you stuff anything, you got to stuff it and you cook it to 165. All right, so that's the rule of thumb with that. But anyway, yeah, I just want to go over a little bit of temperature requirements for you guys. And, you know, a lot of people don't know that. But now keep in mind, too, and, you know, there's rule of thumbs. So if you're cooking a steak, all right, the rule of thumb with a steak is you let it rest for 5 to 10 minutes, okay? So if you were to do like a rib roast or anything like that, it's going to continue to cook when you pull it out. It just does. I mean, you pull it out, it's going to continue to cook. So you don't want to cook it in the oven to 125 or 130 if you want a 130 temperature, because it's going to cook about 5 degrees sitting out. So you pull that bad boy out 5 degrees early. And then that way you have a perfect cooked roast or rib loin or whatever you're doing. So you got to be careful with that. But anyway, so there's a little food for thought for that. But I just wanted to go over a little bit of temperature stuff with you. I recommend getting a thermometer. I got a wonderful thermometer. I've actually got about 4 or 5 of them, actually, to be honest with you. I gave one to my, I want to say I gave one to my parents, as a matter of fact. But thermometers, kitchen thermometers are the bomb. I love them. As a matter of fact, for Christmas, I got a set of Bluetooth meat thermometers. I have not used them yet. Imagine that. I have not used them yet, but I've got some Bluetooth meat thermometers that I'm looking forward to trying. You know, just to see what we got going on with those, and just to see what those got. But let me show you here, guys, what I've got going. So I've got my chicken parmesan. It's all breaded. All right, I'm going to put those bad boys in the oven at 350. All right, and I'm going to cook them until they're about 160. And I know I said earlier 165, but they're doing 160 is because once they get to 160, I'm going to cover them with mozzarella cheese. And then I'm going to allow them to come up to temp, melt that cheese 5 extra degrees, and then I'm going to pull them out of the oven. But I'll show you in a little bit, okay? All right, I'll be right back.